Rouse yourselves! Rouse yourselves! They're storming the walls! The Herons are...
For king! For kingdom! Forward! Take the garrison!
First blood to Elena! Follow the princess!
They're everywhere!
Fall back! Fall...
Damn. Damn! The one coastal garrison we've yet to reinforce, and that's where they decide to land. Father's going to be so pleased. They're here, Father. The Herons landed their forces here. They're already overwhelming us.
The garrison will be lost, Court?
Yes.
We'll gain nothing by throwing away lives in a futile engagement. Pull back what troops you can, then get to your mount and return to the keep.
As you command. Father, I'm sorry.
I know.
We are at war, Father! I told you he shouldn't have been left in charge of a garrison! Court's not enough of a warrior to bear that kind of responsibility!
And what would you have done differently, Braun? Not been surprised? Or somehow produced more than a handful of men assigned to defend the garrison? Calm yourself.
How? When Heron troops now walk our shores?
Braun, our aggression is better turned upon the enemy, not one another.
My Shen, you heard?
An unfortunate defeat, but not devastating. The coastline there is particularly inhospitable for a large-scale landing. The Herons won't be able to insert a large force before we can dispatch reinforcements to block their advance. Our efforts are best spent addressing the strategic concerns at hand, rather than placing blame for what has already been lost.
I'm pleased someone here has a constructive contribution. The Herons struck where we were least prepared to defend a landing, as if they knew.
Perhaps they did, King Victor. If nothing else, they were able to predict our weak link. Attacking a fortress that was apt to be less protected, even though it represents a less enticing landing site, is the same course I would have pursued. It's possible you're not the only ones who have obtained strategic advice from an outside source.
What's the difference where they got the idea? Now they have a foothold. We should have invaded their shores again, rather than waiting for them to come to us. We need to take the war to them.
Our first landing at Point Corday was an utter disaster. Or had you forgotten the rout we suffered under your command?
They knew! They knew where we were going to land, and they surprised us. You act as if the battle was devoid of achievement. I slew one of their princes.
And it served only to stiffen the Heron resolve. You could have made a prisoner of him. But instead, you chose to make a martyr of your enemy.
I salvaged what I could and escaped with enough of our army intact to fight another day. Is anything ever good enough for you? Anything!
I won't tolerate these outbursts in my war room. Leave.
As you wish. But I swear to you, Father, the day will come when you won't be able to dismiss me so easily. Does he expect me to swallow these indignities forever? How long does he think he can push me before?
You and Father had a disagreement? How unlike you two. Shh. I keep thinking maybe someone mistreated Reaver as a pup. That might explain where he got this temper of his. But he's learning to control it.
I'm in no mood, Ashley. Not after learning of the military debacle led by our dear brother.
Really? I'm surprised such a thing could happen, now that we have a brilliant strategic mind in our midst.
Even those who are well prepared for conflict can still be surprised and defeated. You do well to remember that.
You do well to remember your advice extends to military affairs, not family ones. Do you understand me?
There's very little about you I don't understand. You're the one without any concept of who you're dealing with. But if you stay the course, I promise you'll find out.
Oh, I intend to find out.
You've kept my hound at your side long enough, sister. I want him back. Here, Reva. Come to me. Reaver, come! Come! Damn you, dog, come here!
I don't think he's listening, despite your tone. Or perhaps because of it.
Enjoy these petty victories while you can, Ashley. One day, the order here will change, and you'd be wise to be careful when it does.
Father? I checked the war room, but they told me you'd already left. I thought this might be the best place to look.
You know me too well, daughter. There was nothing more to be accomplished by staring at the same map tables and calculating troop strengths yet again. The Herons have landed and taken a coastal garrison, the one I'd placed under Court's command. Thankfully, he was able to avoid capture, or a worse fate. I come to the throne hall, hoping to draw inspiration from those who guided our dynasty in the past. Particularly when it's our dynasty's future that concerns me.
Because of the war?
No, not the war. Walk with me. I was still a young man when I inherited the throne from my mother. Now my bones creak when I get out of bed each morning. I'm old, Ashley. No one rules forever. Braun is the eldest. He's to follow me to that throne, and he's not ready. I have grave doubts he ever will be. The mantle of rulership does not rest easily on those of his temperament. He's too quick to anger, too prone to casual violence. Perhaps his nature is the product of his mother not being alive to raise him. I don't know. Generations of our family have taken their place on the Raven throne. Some better, some worse. But the dynasty has always survived. Please, sit.
What? Father, it's not my place to sit upon the throne.
I wish it were. It would be, save for the simple timing of your birth. If only you'd been born first, you would be in line to rule.
There's nothing to be done about it, Father. Whatever his faults, it's Braun's birthright. Tradition demands the eldest ascends to the throne.
Perhaps it's time tradition is broken.
You're not seriously considering such a thing.
I might, if I knew my chosen successor would place no other causes before those of her bloodline.
Other causes? I'm not sure what...
Don't insult me. Do you think I rule an entire kingdom but remain ignorant of my own family's workings?
Braun did tell you.
Braun told me nothing. I've been aware of your involvement with the underground for some time. The clues were plain enough. But as long as you didn't create undue strife within the kingdom, I looked the other way. True passion for a cause is an admirable quality, Ashley. But your passion is misplaced. It's time you put aside the things of your wild youth and took your place with your family. It's possible some accommodation eventually can be made for the underground and lesser races. But now your loyalty must be here. I must have your support in what's ahead. I've indulged your indiscretions and asked little of you in return. Now, I ask you to place your dynasty and your kingdom first. Will you give me your loyalty when I need it?
But Father, I'm... Yes.
Everything mocks me. My sister, my father, even my own face! Ugh! What does it gain my father to humiliate me? He treats me like a child at every turn.
Because you let him goad you into acting like a child at every turn. You're going to have to deal with your father. And sooner rather than later.
Deal with him? My father is king. I will be king after him. All I need do is wait. And what I want will come to me.
So you believe. But your father believes you're not ready for the throne. Believes you never will be. Those were his own words tonight. To your sister. They're conspiring to breach the order of succession and put Ashley on the throne in your place.
But the firstborn has always inherited the throne. Even my father wouldn't consider such a break with tradition. How could you possibly know any of this?
You know better than to doubt me.
Why would he betray me so? What more must I do?
Braun, you know what you must do. I can make you powerful.
I am powerful. I'm a Raven Prince, heir to the throne.
Are you? Your father will never let you ascend to the throne. I can make you powerful.
What are you?
More than you can imagine. My kind call themselves the First, but you would call us gods. Even the least of my people holds more power than you've ever dreamed of. She whom I serve sent me here to manage this conflict and keep watch on your enemy Ethan, this world's sigil bearer. It wouldn't do to have him fall under the wrong influence and become a Dexter tool. That was my duty, and I'll see it through. But I have grown fond of this world. I intend to have it for my own. But I can share it with you, dear Braun, if you're willing to do what must be done. If that's what you want.
Yes, that's what I want. What did you do to me?
Gave you a small part of what I am.
And what can I do?
Anything. Anything at all.
I still don't think this is a good idea, Ethan. Walking right through the front gates of the Raven capital is asking for...
You there! Stand where you are!
I hate it when you're right.
Thought you could just stroll into the city and not be recognized? You're stupid as well as ugly. Lesser race filth.
I really thought it was us they wanted, Skink. Truthfully, I'm shocked we made it this far.
I swore vengeance upon Braun. I'm not going to be stopped now. Not when I'm so close.